Cool. So right now it is October 23rd, Tuesday, 2018, 2 days before the Oleum push. And today's topic is going to be effective goal sharing. So what what points I want to hit on today is I want to hit on how to implement a goal sharing sheet, how to tie your customers into your goals, specifically for the Oleum push, and how to leverage your goals to create sales today as well as recommendations today. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and I'm going to show two different goal sharing sheets. I'm going to show a basic one, which is this one, and then I'll show you a little bit more advanced one. So this here is more of a basic type of goal sheet. There's a couple of things that you want to kind of look at. So here in the beginning, it says my motivation here in the center. So picture of you and your family, something like that. So you might want to, get a picture of you and mom, or you and his siblings, or just so that way a customer knows a little bit about you. The whole purpose of that is to humanize the part of your presentation. You want to make sure your customer doesn't think of you as some like knife salesperson. So this part humanizes it. I like this section here of pictures of you at work or a picture of you like at school. So it just kind of like helps them visualize, like, again, you're a college kid and you're working hard. You're pursuing some goals. So I think that's important too. I like that. This one over here is your thermometer. So I always like having a thermometer with some measurable, quantifiable goal that you can shoot for. And I also like to let them know how close you are to that goal. So, for example, if your goal is $10,000 for the Oleum push, every time someone buys from you, you break down how much you've sold. I would also make sure you have a demos completed thermometer. So maybe part of it is sales, part of it is demos completed. So maybe your sales number is 10K, but your demos completed number is 35. And it's like, Ms. Jones, if I complete 35 appointments based on averages and trends, I should be able to hit my sales goal just because Cutco's awesome. And because you did an appointment with me today, I'm going to have you sign your initials here because you got me one appointment closer. Then at the end, if you choose to buy, then I'll have you sign in how much you purchased. So if you want to buy all $10,000, that would be great. Then I could take the rest of the push off. Something like that is, so that way you have like the appointments along with the sales. I also like where it says here, you put your name, big letters there, and then you can put your sophomore, what school you're going to, what your major is. And I like this, like why these demos are important to me. I like this list here. Like I want to gain confidence or communication skills. I want to learn how to effectively work with grown-ups. I want to learn how to effectively manage my schedule, time management, professional speaking, professional networking. So something along those lines where it's like develop a character trait such as patience, communication skills, self-confidence, phone skills, more courage, and then learn how to effectively work with people, manage my time, professional networking, something like that. The benefit of the job, with a flexible schedule, building confidence in myself, that's why I really like working here, getting experience with people, direct sales, just kind of help me towards my future job, whatever that might be. And you show them like your roadmap. It's like my college education plus the vector opportunity is going to help me get my career job. And you have a picture that describes your future career goal. And when you have a goal sheet that's set up like this, it just allows them to see beyond just you being a nice salesperson sitting in their kitchen or doing this online appointment with them. It humanizes it. So again, you humanize it with a picture of yourself, a little bit of you working, a thermometer of like how many appointments and how much you want to sell, some characteristics and why you're doing what you're doing, and then how this is a part of your roadmap to get you to a career goal. Pretty simple. The next level addition to this is creating a website. And this is what Lindsay Hatcher does. So your Cutco representative, and she has links for herself. So check this out. So my goals. You click on my goals and it pops up. Look how sexy that looks. So if we go back to home, we click my goals, rewards for hitting my $4,000 goal. I could pay for my first car before graduation. I hit my promotion. I could secure an advancement position. How you could help. Stack up on your holiday Cutco orders, whatever it might be. Contact me with questions. I promise to give you the best deal possible. Click here. I'll click that in just a moment. Why Cutco? Lasts forever for replacement. It's been on, Dr. Phil. So contact me with questions, and then there's a little contact form. But that's our goals page. Thanks so much for your help. Marketing for Cutco has helped me build my resume as an assistant manager, my office, graduate debt free. I greatly appreciate your contribution towards my goals. Then my sponsors. Automatic sponsorship, did you know? We're the largest employer of college students in the nation. Because of this, the company does whatever it can to help students like me in need. So we have explains the sponsorship there. These are a couple of sponsors, double sponsors, and it kind of gives some visual social proof of people who have sponsored her. I like that. I think that's pretty cool. And then become a sponsor. She has this little link here. What does that look like? Let's see. That one doesn't want to seem to work. Or maybe it's the same. So this is pretty cool idea as well. And obviously to create your Wix website, it's free. Click start here, and then you could create one. So here, any questions from you on the goal sheet itself, whether it be this one in the PowerPoint or this one, creating a website, or anything in between? Or comments?
No, it just helps to see what else, people have as their goals and how they might be kind of similar to mine. So just getting an idea of how mine should be. That's it, really.
Cool. It's really simple. So once you have the goal sheet created, now it's a matter of creating your story of like, okay, this is what I'm going to say about my goal sheet. Not only what am I going to say, but this is what I want to get accomplished. So what do I want to get accomplished with my goal sheet? A couple of things come to mind. I want to create an open mind for my customer to be open to not only giving me recommendations, but helping me, have an open mind to purchasing today versus waiting till later. And I want to kind of get them bought into these goals. So a couple of good ways to do this is you could ask questions of like, to kind of get them thinking something along the lines of, hey, Ms. Jones, when you were my age, what do you, if you remember, like, what were some of the goals you were working towards when you were like 18, 19, 20 years old? That could be a good question. How to tie them into your goals. You could ask questions like, Ms. Jones, let me ask you right now, if you had a kid that was my age, or you do have a kid that's my age, if they were doing what I was doing, what advice would you give them? And questions like that kind of like enroll your customer into like empathy. And when you could enroll your customer into empathy, it allows them to kind of see beyond the facade of the knives. So it's like after you share your goals, it's like, hey, Ms. Jones, like, this is what I'm doing. This is why I'm doing it. This is why it's important to me. I have to ask you, when you were my age, what were some of the things you were working towards? And if you had a kid, or if your kid, if you had a kid my age, or if your kid was doing what I was doing, what advice would you give them to kind of make sure that they hit their goals? And then you kind of see where that goes from there, and genuinely receive what they're telling you, and then you could use that as a transition. It's like I said on the phone, you don't have to buy anything. Like I get paid just to show it to you. As a matter of fact, don't buy. At least don't buy because of my goals. Like the only reason why I want you to buy today is if you like Cutco and if you think it's a good product and you feel like it will save you time, money, and energy over a lifetime. Like if you want to get that, that's a totally going to be up to you. I just want to explain to you why. Everyone gets it, and then you'll make your own decision. Because Cutco is way too expensive just to buy, just to kind of help me towards my goals. I'm going to warn you that it's like really, really, really good. It is really, really, really expensive, but it's really, really good. And some of our best discounts start as high as $1,500. So, like, if you were ever going to get Cutco because of the contest I'm in, today would be the day because of all the specials that the company is providing. And the word on the street has that there's going to be a price increase very soon. So this is going to be the lowest price Cutco will ever be. So if you decide that you want to get some stuff, totally up to you. My only goal of this presentation, Miss Jones, is that if you like me and if you like my presentation, and if I do a good job, is just to introduce me to every single one that you know, like all your friends, all your family, everyone you know on Facebook, because I'm not like some random knife salesman. I don't do any like door to door. Everyone I meet with is just a friend of a friend, just like Susie recommended me to you. So that way it's like a nice warm welcome. So at the end, I'll ask you to introduce me to everyone you know. And that's really my only goal because through college, I want to meet 1,000 new people. And meeting 1,000 new people through college, it just could do wonders for my future goals that I shared with you. So let's have fun today. Have you ever heard of Cutco before? No? Oh my gosh, you're gonna love this stuff. Do you cook as you like to, love to, or have to? Have to? Oh my gosh. You're like my mom, you hate cooking. Yeah, you're gonna love this stuff. It's gonna get you in and out of the kitchen as fast as possible. Let me tell you a little bit about the products. Boom. And then you transition to the company page. So it's not necessarily the words I'm saying, it's more important of like what am I accomplishing? So this is recorded, so you could always go back and pause and rewind and craft your own phrases. But what am I getting accomplished here is more important. I want to leverage my goals to create an open mind for sales today and an open mind for recommendations today. I want to get them thinking, all right, if I were ever going to get Cutco, I'm going to do it today versus later. I also want them thinking in the beginning, like, all right, I'll hear this girl out. I'll hear this boy out. And if they're good, sure, I'll introduce them to more people. And you enroll your customer and tie them into your goals by asking them a couple of key questions, such as, what were you doing when you were my age to, pay for school? Or if your kid was doing this, what advice would you give your kid? If your kid had goals like I have, what advice would you give them? So, Sierra, let me kind of stop there. Well, any questions or comments, feedback, likes, concerns, anything that comes to mind for you after kind of hearing that?
So just making them feel comfortable with the overall goal sharing and tying your customers into that. I think that part is really important for the rest of the presentation. And yeah, like you said, you really like what you're getting accomplished with making them comfortable. It's just the open mind to buy today or to give out the recommendations at the end. So that's cool.
Good. Any questions on this? I mean, it's a pretty simple topic, but it kind of positions you to enroll your customer into purchasing now, purchasing more, and also giving you more recommendations in the beginning. It creates the framework.
Yeah.
So a couple other things just to kind of highlight here is using phrases like, I'll be able to give you the best deal possible today. Word on the street is that the prices are going to go up, and this is going to be the lowest price that Cutco will ever be. We actually have a bunch of pre-Halloween specials. You could always use whatever holiday is during the time of year. So right now, like we have a ton of Halloween specials right now that a lot of people are taking advantage of. So if you were ever going to buy, today would be the day. Some of the best discounts start as high as $1,500. So there's a couple good phrases. So now, when you do a good job with goal sharing, you could enroll a customer to give you, when you ask for recommendations at the end, you could enroll a customer into giving you 15 or 20 or 30 or 40 recommendations at an end because they're already bought into you. And if you tie that back into at the end, it's like, Ms. Jones, remember I told you about all my goals I'm working towards in the beginning? Well, this is the most important part, how I can continue working towards them. And then you go into your recommendation approach. You could even show them the goals page again one more time before you ask for recommendations. I used to do that all the time. Remember I showed you all these goals I'm working towards in the beginning? Well, the only way I could work towards them is this most important part I'm about to tell you about. So we can really help out. I get paid every time I show Cutco, but I could only call people I'm recommended to. So what I need you to do while I'm cleaning up, jot down 200 to 300 people. Just kidding. Just 10 to 20 that might be nice enough to help me out. Help me towards these goals. Not people are going to buy, just people nice like you. Just take a look. We even have that sponsorship program. Super simple. So use your goal sharing to leverage your recommendations. Use your goal sharing to leverage sales today. Cool. So that's that's really the main points that I have. So what we went through for the last 20 minutes or so, we went through how to implement a goal sheet or a goal website using the formats that were sent. How to tie your customers into your goals by asking them a couple of key questions, and leveraging your goals to create sales today and create recommendations for today. And create that open mind. So I know originally I was going to spend maybe 45 minutes, but it's tough to fill 45 minutes of me talking. So if you feel satisfied, Sierra, then we'll end the workshop early since you decided to wake up with me and join me this morning, and then everyone else gets the benefit of watching this video at their own time. Um, as mentioned, I was contemplating not recording this just due to the fact that if people didn't want to wake up early, then they shouldn't get the benefits of the content. But I decided to still record the content for them. Just, I don't want to be spiteful. But the immature version of Mike is like, you should be spiteful. Any comments or questions or feedback before we end our workshop today, Sierra?
It said some of it was going to be on the attack list. I don't know if you had anything for that.
Cool. I could talk a little bit about that. Because I did a pretty in-depth attack list workshop, the last one, so I didn't feel like the need necessarily to do another one today. But were you on that previous call, or did you watch that one?
I think I was getting more appointments.
Yeah, getting more appointments is specifically using, Facebook and whatnot.
Oh, okay. That's
A couple points that I could hit on that might be elementary, but we've already probably covered. But as far as the attack list goes, I think it's important to update it and create. When you qualify your recommendations on the appointments, you're qualifying them in a way that you want to update your spreadsheet with. For example, I want to know the husband's name for every appointment I do. So when I update my spreadsheet, I know not just if they're married, but I know the husband's name. So that way I could address him if he answers the phone instead of Mr. or Mrs. Blank. I want to know if they have kids, how many kids they have, and the kids' names. So that way during rapport of the phone conversation, I could mention the kids because it's going to allow me to book up the appointments a lot easier. I also want to know when I'm getting recommendations, I want to know one interesting fact about them that not many people might know. Like only friends or family of theirs might know this about them. Like if they have the best pie recipe to, they are a Zumba instructor for fun. Like I want to know something that allows them to feel during my phone call that I am a friend of a friend. So when qualifying, like when I update my spreadsheet, like I want to have as much of this in that spreadsheet as possible. I want to know what time of day they could potentially be available. Like, could they be available during the daytime? Possibly. I want to know what side of town they live, so I know like time zone or driving distance. So when I'm asking for my recommendations and when I'm qualifying them, I'm taking all of that info and dumping it into my spreadsheet. Ideally, that's done at the end of every day. At minimum, it's done twice a week before the 2 phone jams, Sundays and Wednesdays. And that way, when you update your spreadsheet and you put it in Google Sheets, you could sort it by whatever it is that you want to sort it by. If you want to sort it by your most qualified prospects, you sort it by Miss Jones. Who do you think you would call first? Like if you were my job, if you were me, and you had my goals, who would be the top like 2 or 3 people you would probably call first? Put a little star next to them. Miss Jones, if your kid had my goals and if your kid had my job, who would you send your kid to first? Who would be your top 2 or 3? Put a star next to them. Put them in the spreadsheet with stars. And then I would sort my spreadsheet by the stars, and those are the people I would call during my next phone jam. If I'm calling daytime people, I would sort it by daytime. So that way, those are the people I call for my next phone jam. but I have those notes so that way when I do call them and I say, hey, Miss Jackie, this is Mike Abramowitz. I was actually over at your friend Debbie Sue's house the other day. She said you were super nice and might be able to help me out with something I'm working on. Did she tell you I was going to call? No? Hey, no worries. I know she's been busy. Yeah, I was actually over her house. She was telling me a little bit about you and your family. She was saying that you have two kids, Deborah and Jacob. They're both really involved into Scouts, Girl Scouts, and Boy Scouts. And she also said that you have the best pie recipe, and I had to ask you for it if you're willing to share. And we had a whole conversation about how nice you were and how she thought you might be nice enough to help me out towards some of my goals I'm working towards. See, I actually recently graduated from here, and I'm going to school here, and I'm studying this, and I'm working with a company that's helping me build my resume, get some business experience. And what's really cool is I get paid to do these appointments, and I don't need to buy, I get paid to show it to you, but it's really cool. It doesn't take too long and helps me out a ton. I just need to do 10 appointments by Monday to hit my goal. So I don't know if I can call you or if I could stop by on day of time or what time would be better for you. I wasn't sure what time of day you're usually home, morning, afternoon, or evening. And it's very assumptive of like, I'm not calling to ask for the appointment, I'm calling to book up the appointment. I promised your friend I would call you. And I actually sound like a friend because I updated my attack list and my spreadsheet the right way. So outside of that creating appointments video that was created that's on our YouTube playlist, those are the things that maybe initially come to mind that I didn't talk about there. Any additional questions or comments that could serve you under the umbrella of goal sharing or attack list?
Yeah, I'm on the program of qualifying your recs, and it just up levels your whole business. So if you're not doing that, you definitely want to get doing that.
Well, sounds good. Thanks for joining us, Amanda.
Did you not see me here this whole time?
I do not.
Well, I wasn't here the whole time, but I've been here for like the past 15 minutes.
Got it. So you hopped on at about 8:20?
Yeah, 8:15, 8:20.
Cool. Any other questions or comments on the goal sharing or the attack list?
I don't have any that comes to mind.
Cool. So we will adjourn. And Sierra, I appreciate you, your reliability, showing up on time, being here, and your commitment to your work and to your craft. And I'm excited for your push. So if you can post your biggest light bulbs and takeaways, from the session, that'd be great. And then I'll post the recording for everyone else. And make it a great day. Have a great one. I think we have a call later on today, right? We'll talk a little bit more specifics about your push and your strategy and button up everything before tomorrow night.
Sounds good.
Cool. Thanks. Have a great day.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.